I have done 30 plus certifications and am here to guide you throughout your certification journey. In this video, we will be covering some important questions of the Microsoft PL-300 exam. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. To the important questions, question 1. You need to create the on-time shipping report. The report must include a visualization that shows the percentage of late orders. Which type of visualization should you create? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, pie chart. It is not ideal for tracking trends over time or making detailed comparisons. Then we have B, scatter plot. It is used for showing relationships between two numerical variables, not percentages. As such, the type of visualization that we should create is bar chart. Thus, the correct option is C. The on-time shipping report will show the following metrics for a selected shipping month or quarter. The percentage of order that were shipped late by country and shipping region. Bar and column charts are some of the most widely used visualization charts in Power BI. They can be used for one or multiple categories. Both these chart types represent data with rectangular bars where the size of the bar is proportional to the magnitude of data values. Question 2. You need to update the Power BI model to ensure that the analysts can quickly build drill downs from business unit to product in a visual. What should you create? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have a group. Groups categorize data but do not support drill down functionality. Then we have B, a calculated table. It creates a new table but it does not enable drill down in visuals. Then we have D, a calculated column. It adds a new column to a table but does not establish hierarchical relationship. As such, we should create a hierarchy. Thus, the correct option is C. Drill requires a hierarchy. When a visual has a hierarchy, you can drill down to reveal additional details. A hierarchy in Power BI allows users to drill down from a higher level category to a more detailed level within visuals, enabling better data exploration. Question 3. You need to minimize the size of the dataset. The solution must meet the report requirements. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Group the categories table by the category ID column. Grouping reduces row count but is unnecessary if the table is already small. Then we have C. Filter out discontinued products while importing the products table. This reduces data volume but might remove relevant historical data. Then we have D. Change the order ID column in the orders table to the text data type. It increases storage size as text requires more space than numeric types. As such, we should remove the quantity per unit column from the products table. Thus, the correct option is B. Removing unnecessary columns reduces dataset size, improving performance without affecting required report functionality. Question 4. You need to create a calculated column to display the month based on the reporting requirements. Which DAX expression should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, it has incorrect syntax and it concatenates text instead of formatting properly. Then we have C, date ID is likely an integer and may not work correctly in the format function. And then we have D, it uses a single M which may result in a single digit month and YY two-digit year. As such, the DAX expression that we should use is format bracket on date square bracket date comma YYYY. Thus the correct option is A. This DAX expression correctly formats the date to display the month followed by the year, meeting standard reporting requirements. Question 5. What should you do to address the existing environment data concerns? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have a calculated column that uses the following formula: ABS bracket on sales square bracket sales amount bracket off. It converts all values to positive, which may misrepresent refunds or returns. Then we have C, a measure that uses the following formula: sum bracket on sales square bracket sales amount bracket off. It simply sums all values, including negative ones, without filtering out incorrect data. Then we have D, a calculated column that uses the following formula: if bracket on is blank bracket sales square bracket sales amount bracket off comma 0 comma bracket on sales square bracket sales amount bracket off bracket off. It replaces blanks with 0 but does not filter out negative values. As such, to address the existing environment data concerns, we should use a measure that uses the following formula: sum x bracket on filter bracket sales comma sales square bracket sales amount greater than 0 bracket off comma square bracket sales amount bracket off. As such, the correct option is B. You are concerned with the quality and completeness of the sales data. You must ensure that negative and missing sales amount values do not contribute to the total sales amount calculation. Question 6. What should you create to meet the reporting requirements of the sales department? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, calculated column that uses a formula of count A bracket on sales square bracket sales ID bracket off. A calculated column would store results statically, increasing dataset size unnecessarily. Then we have C, a calculated column that uses a formula of sum bracket on sales square bracket sales ID bracket off. Summing sales IDs is meaningless since IDs are typically unique identifiers, not numeric values to aggregate. And then we have D, a measure that uses a formula of sum bracket on sales square bracket sales ID bracket off. Similar to option C, summing sales IDs do not provide useful sales insights. As such, in order to meet the reporting requirements, we should create a measure that uses a formula of count rows bracket sales. Thus, the correct option is A. Count rows bracket sales efficiently counts the number of rows in the sales table, which is useful for reporting total transactions or sales records dynamically. Question 7. You need to provide a solution to provide the sales managers with the required access. What should you include in the solution? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B. Create a security role that has a table filter on the sales manager table where username equals sales manager ID. Sales manager ID is likely a numerical ID, not a username, making this comparison invalid. Then we have C, create a security role that has a table filter on the region manager table where sales manager ID equals user principal name. Sales manager access should be controlled through the sales manager table, not region manager. Then we have D, create a security role that has a table filter on the sales manager table where name equals username. The name field may not match the username format used in authentication, making this unreliable. As such, we should include creating a security role that has a table filter on the sales manager table where username equals username in the solution. As such, the correct option is A. Using username ensures that the security role dynamically filters data based on the logged in user's identity, granting sales managers access only to their relevant data. Question 8. You publish a dataset to the Power BI service. The dataset contains a connection to an on premises Microsoft SQL Server database. You attempt to configure a schedule to refresh but cannot select the appropriate on premises data gateway. You confirm the following with the administrator of the gateway. You have the appropriate permissions to use the gateway. The data source was created on the gateway. The gateway has a status of running. What is most likely reason the gateway is unavailable? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, the type of data source is not supported by the on-premises data gateway. The admin confirmed that the data service was created, so it is supported. Then we have C, the credentials of the data source are invalid. Invalid credentials cause refresh failures, not the gateway being unavailable. And then we have D, the data source is configured to use single sign on. SSO affects authentication but does not prevent selecting the gateway. As such, the most likely reason the gateway is unavailable is that the server name in the pbix file does not match the data source name in the gateway. Thus, the correct option is B. In Power BI, when you configure a data source to use an on-premises data gateway, the server name and other connection details in your pbix file must match the data source configuration in the gateway. If there is a mismatch in the server name or other connection details, the scheduled refresh won't work and you won't be able to select the appropriate gateway. Question 9. You have a Power BI workspace named BI Data that contains a dataset named BI Finance. You have the build permissions for the BI Finance dataset, but you do not have permissions for the workspace. You need to connect to BI Finance and create a report. Which two actions should you perform? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, from the Power BI service, create a data flow to the dataset by using direct query. Data flows do not connect to published datasets via direct query. They are used for data transformations. Then we have B, from Power BI desktop, connect to a Dataverse data source. BI Finance is a Power BI dataset, not a Dataverse entity, making this option irrelevant. As such, the two actions that we should perform are from the Power BI service, create a new report and select a published dataset, and from Power BI desktop, connect to a shared dataset. As such, the two correct options are C and D. Since you have build permissions for the dataset but no workspace permissions, you can still create reports using the dataset. C allows you to create a report directly in the Power BI service using the published dataset. D allows you to connect to the shared dataset in Power BI desktop, enabling local report creation. Question 10. You have a Power BI dataset and a connected report. You need to ensure that users can analyze data in Microsoft Excel only by connecting directly to the dataset. You grant the users the build permission for the dataset. What should you do next? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Certify the dataset used by the report. Certification improves dataset trust but does not affect Excel connectivity. Then we have B. Change the default visual interaction for the report. This only affects how visuals interact within Power BI, not Excel connectivity. Then we have C. For the report, change the export data setting to none. This would prevent users from exporting data to Excel, which is the opposite of the requirement. As such, we should, for the report, change the export data setting to summarize data, data with current layout, and underlying data. As such, the correct option is D. The correct answer is D. C is incorrect because if you change the export data settings to none, users will not be able to export the data in any form. By providing the users with summarized data, data with current layout, and underlying data option, it will not change the way data is visualized in the report, but it allows the users to download the data and analyze it with Excel. Question 11. You have multiple dashboards. You need to ensure that when users browse the available dashboards from powerbi.com, they can say which dashboards contain personally identifiable information. The solution must minimize configuration effort and impact on the dashboard design. What should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, tiles. It is used to display data in dashboards but do not help in identifying PII. Then we have C, comments. It is useful for discussions but not for marking PII across multiple dashboards. And then we have D, Active Directory groups. It manages user access but do not visually indicate PII presence in dashboards. As such, we should use Microsoft information protection sensitivity labels. Thus, the correct option is A. In the Power BI service, sensitivity labels can be applied to datasets, reports, dashboards, and data flows. Sensitivity labels on reports, dashboards, dataset, and data flows are visible from many places in the Power BI service. Sensitivity labels on reports and dashboards are also visible in the Power BI iOS and Android mobile apps and in embedded visuals. In desktop, you can see the sensitivity label in the status bar. Question 12. You create a report by using Microsoft Power BI Desktop. The report uses data from a Microsoft SQL Server Analysis Services. From a Microsoft SQL Server Analysis Services cube located on your company's internal network. You plan to publish the report to the Power BI service. What should you implement to ensure that users who consume the report from the Power BI service have the most up-to-date data from the cube? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A and O data feed. O data feeds are used for web-based APIs, not for connecting to SSAS cubes. Then we have C, a subscription. Subscription notify users of report updates but do not refresh data from SSAS. And then we have D, a scheduled refresh of the dataset. It is not applicable because live SSAS connections do not use scheduled refresh. They rely on direct queries via a gateway. As such, based on our requirements, we should implement an on-premises data gateway. Thus, the correct option is B. After you install the on-premises data gateway, you need to add data sources that can be used with the gateway. You can work with gateways and SQL Server Analysis Services, data sources that are used either for scheduled refresh or for live connections. Note, Power BI service is a cloud-based business analytics and data visualization service that enables anyone to visualize and analyze data with greater speed, efficiency, and understanding. Question 13. You have a Power BI dashboard that monitors the quality of manufacturing process. The dashboard contains the following elements: a line chart that shows the number of defective products manufactured by day, KPI visual that shows the current daily percentage of defective products manufactured. You need to be notified when the daily percentage of defective products manufactured exceeds 3%. What should you create? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have a subscription. It sends scheduled report updates but does not trigger notifications based on data changes. Then we have C, a smart narrative visual. It summarizes insights in text form but does not provide real-time alerts. And then we have D, a Q&A visual. It allows interactive data exploration but does not notify users of threshold breaches. As such, we should create an alert. Thus, the correct option is B. Set alerts in the Power BI service to notify you when data on a dashboard changes above or below limits you set. Alerts can be set on tiles pinned from report visuals or from Power BI Q&A and only on gauges, KPIs, and cards. Question 14. From Power BI Desktop, you publish a new dataset and report to a Power BI workspace. The dataset has a row-level security role named HR. You need to ensure that the HR team members have RLS applied when they view reports based on the dataset. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B from powerbi.com, share the dataset to the HR team members. Sharing does not enforce RLS. Users must be explicitly added to the RLS role. Then we have C from Power BI Desktop, change the row level security settings. RLS roles are defined in Power BI Desktop, but user assignments must be managed in Power BI Service. And then we have D from Power BI Desktop, import a table that contains the HR team members. RLS does not work by just importing user data. It requires role assignment in Power BI service. As such, we should, from powerbi.com, add users to the HR role for the dataset. Thus, the correct option is A. After publishing the dataset, row-level security must be enforced by assigning users to the HR role in Power BI service. This ensures the security rules are applied when they view the reports. Question 15. You have a Power BI workspace named Workspace 1 that contains a dataset named DS1 and a report named RPT1. A user wants to create a report by using the data in DS1 and publish the report to another workspace. You need to provide the user with the appropriate access. The solution must minimize the number of access permissions granted to the user. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, add the user as a viewer of Workspace 1. Viewers can only see reports and dashboards but cannot create new reports using the dataset. Then we have C, share RPT1 with the user. Sharing a report only allows viewing. It does not provide access to the dataset for creating new reports. And then we have D, add the user as a member of Workspace 1. This gives unnecessary access to all content in the workspace, which violates the principle of least privilege. As such, we should grant the build permission for DS1 to the user. Thus, the correct option is B. Power BI provides the build permission as a complement to the existing permissions, read and reshare. All users who already had read permissions for datasets via app permissions sharing or workspace access at that time also got build permissions for those same datasets. They got build permission automatically because read permission already granted them the right to build new content on top of the dataset by using analyze in Excel or export. With this more granular build permission, you can choose who can only view the content in the existing report or dashboard and who can create content connected to the underlying datasets. If your dataset is being used by a report outside the dataset workspace, you cannot delete that dataset. Instead, you see an error message. Question 16. You create a dashboard by using the Microsoft Power BI service. The dashboard contains a card visual that shows total sales from the current year. You grant users access to the dashboard by using the viewer role on the workspace. A user wants to receive daily notifications of the number shown on the card visual. You need to automate the notifications. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, create a data alert. Alerts only work on KPI, gauge, and card visuals when thresholds are met. But the question does not mention a threshold. Then we have C, share the dashboard to the user. Sharing grants access but does not send automatic notifications. And then we have D, tag the user in a comment. This only notifies the user once and does not provide automated daily updates. As such, we should create a subscription. Thus, the correct option is A. A is correct. You need a subscription, not an alert, as alerts don't include a snapshot and they will only be sent based on a certain condition, whereas you want daily notifications, not just when the value exceeds a certain threshold. Question 17. You have more than 100 published datasets. 10 of the datasets were verified to meet your corporate quality standards. You need to ensure that the 10 verified datasets appear at the top of the list of published datasets whenever users search for existing datasets. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Promote the datasets. Promotion highlights datasets but does not guarantee they appear at the top of the searches. Then we have C, feature the dataset on the home page. It only makes it visible on the home page but does not prioritize it in search results. And then we have D, organizes datasets but does not affect their ranking in search results. As such, we should certify the datasets. Thus, the correct option is B. Certification in Power BI marks datasets as trusted and high quality, making them appear at the top of search results and easily identifiable for users. Question 18. You have a Power BI report that uses row level security. You need to transfer RLS membership maintenance to an Azure Network Security team. The solution must not provide the Azure Network Security team with the ability to manage reports datasets, or dashboards. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Grant the read and build permissions for the Power BI datasets to the Azure Network Security team. This allows report creation but does not provide control over RLS membership. Then we have B. Configure custom instructions for the request access feature that instructs users to contact the Azure Network Security team. This only provides guidance but does not transfer RLS management. And then we have D. Add the Azure Network Security team as members of the RLS role. This gives them RLS restrictions, not the ability to manage RLS membership. As such, we should instruct the Azure Network Security team to create security groups and then configure RLS to use the security groups. Thus, the correct option is C. By using security groups, the Azure Network Security team can manage RLS memberships without needing direct access to Power BI. This approach ensures they cannot manage reports, datasets, or dashboards aligning with the requirement. Question 19. In Power BI Desktop, you are creating visualizations in a report based on an imported dataset. You need to allow Power BI users to export the summarized data used to create the visualizations but prevent the users from exporting the underlying data. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. From the Power BI service, configure the dataset permissions. Dataset permissions control access but do not restrict data export levels. Then we have B. From the Power BI desktop, configure the data load setting for the current file. Data load settings affect how data is imported but do not control export permissions. Then we have C. From Power BI desktop, modify the data source permissions. Data source permissions control access to the original data, not export settings in the report. As such, we should, from Power BI desktop, configure the report settings for the current file. Thus, the correct option is D. In Power BI desktop, you can control data export options by modifying the report settings to allow exporting only summarized data while preventing the export of underlying data. You need to set the appropriate export restrictions in the report settings before publishing. Question 20. You have a Power BI workspace that contains several reports. You need to provide a user with the ability to create a dashboard that will use the visuals from the reports. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Create a row level security role and add the user to the role. RLS restricts data access but does not grant permissions to create dashboards. Then we have B. Share the reports with the user. Sharing allows users to view reports but does not permit creating dashboards. Then we have C. Grant the read permission for the dataset to the user. Read access allows data usage but does not enable dashboard creation. And then we have E. Add the user as a viewer of the workspace. Viewers can only see reports and dashboards but cannot create new dashboards. As such, we should add the user as a member of the workspace. Thus, the correct option is D. To create a dashboard using visuals from existing reports, the user needs at least contributor access, which is granted by adding them as a member of the workspace. Question 21. You have a PBIX file that imports several tables from an Azure SQL database. The data will be migrated to another Azure SQL database. You need to change the connections in the PBIX file. The solution must minimize administrative effort. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. From Power Query Editor, create new queries. It is unnecessary. You can simply update the existing data source. Then we have B. From Power Query Editor, modify the source of each query. More effective than needed, updating data source settings applies changes to all queries at once. Then we have C. Create a pbit file, open the file, and change the data sources when prompted. It works but requires saving a new template and reopening it, which is unnecessary extra effort. As such, we should modify the data source settings. Thus, the correct option is D. The easiest way to update the database connection in a PBX file is by modifying the data source settings in Power BI Desktop. This approach allows you to change the server and database without manually editing each query. Question 22. You have a Power BI workspace that contains a dataset, a report, and a dashboard. The following groups have access. External users can access the dashboard. Managers can access the dashboard and a manager specific report. Employees can access the dashboard and a row level security constrained report. You need all users, including the external users, to be able to tag workspace administrators if they identify an issue with the dashboard. The solution must ensure that other users see the issues that were raised. What should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, chat in Microsoft Teams. It is useful for discussion, but messages are not visible within Power BI and may not be seen by all relevant users. Then we have C, alerts. It only notifies individual when data reaches a threshold. They do not facilitate discussions. Then we have D, subscriptions. It automates report delivery but do not allow tagging or issue tracking. As such, we should use comments. Thus, the correct option is A. Add a personal comment or start a conversation about a dashboard or report with your colleagues. The comment feature is just one of the ways a business user can collaborate with others. Note, comments can be added to an entire dashboard, to individual visuals on a dashboard, to a report page, to a paginated report, and to individual visuals on a report page. Add a general comment or add a comment targeted at specific colleagues. Question 23. You have a dataset that is used infrequently and refreshes every hour. You receive a notification that the refresh was disabled due to inactivity. Which two actions will cause the scheduled refresh schedule to resume? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Enable query coaching for the dataset. It improves performance but does not impact dataset refresh status. Then we have B, import the dataset to Microsoft Excel. It does not interact with Power BI directly, so it won't resume refresh. Then we have E, from PowerShell, run the get Power BI report cmdlet. It retrieves report details but does not trigger dataset activity. As such, the two actions that will cause the scheduled refresh schedule to resume are: from the Power BI service, open a dashboard that uses the dataset, and from the Power BI service, open a report that uses the dataset. Thus, the correct options are C and D. After 2 months of inactivity, scheduled refresh on your dataset is paused. A dataset is considered inactive when no user has visited any dashboard or report built on the dataset. At that time, the dataset owner is sent an email indicating the scheduled refresh is paused. The refresh schedule for the dataset is then displayed as disabled. To resume scheduled refresh, simply revisit any dashboard or report built on the dataset. Question 24. You have a Microsoft Excel file on a file server. You create a Power BI report and import a table from the Excel file. You publish the report. You need to ensure that the data refreshes every 4 hours. What should you do first? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Upload the Excel file to a Power BI workspace. This would allow refresh but it defeats the purpose of keeping the file on the server. Then we have B, create a subscription to the report. Subscriptions send reports via email but do not refresh the dataset. Then we have D, edit the data source credentials. It is necessary, but without a gateway, Power BI still cannot connect to the local file. As such, we should first deploy an on-premises data gateway. Thus, the correct option is C. You can schedule refresh for the on-premises data gateway personal mode and the on-premises data gateway. You specify refresh options in the following areas of the Power BI service: gateway connection, data source credentials, and scheduled refresh. Question 25. You have a Power BI tenant. You have reports that use financial datasets and are exported as PDF files. You need to ensure that the reports are encrypted. What should you implement? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Microsoft Intune policies. Intune manages devices and apps but does not apply encryption to Power BI exports. Then we have B. Row level security. It controls data access within Power BI but does not encrypt exported files. Then we have D. Dataset certifications. It ensures data quality and trustworthiness but does not provide encryption. As such, we should implement sensitivity labels. Thus, the correct option is C. Sensitivity labels in Power BI help classify and protect reports, including exported files like PDFs, by applying encryption and access controls. This ensures that financial reports remain secure even when shared externally. Question 26. You have a Power BI dataset that contains quarterly sales performance data. You need to enable managers to review the data in a format that meets the following requirements: is optimized for printing, renders data in Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and PDF formats. What should you create? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have a template app. It distributes pre-built reports but is not optimized for printing. Then we have B, a dashboard. It is interactive but does not provide printable structured exports. Then we have D, an interactive report. It is designed for on-screen interaction, not optimized for printing or exporting in multiple formats. As such, we should create a paginated report. Thus, the correct option is C. Paginated reports are optimized for printing and allow exporting to Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and PDF in a structured format. They are ideal for financial and performance reports that need a fixed layout across different formats. Question 27. You need to create a visual that compares profit across 10 product categories for a selected quarter. What is the best visual to use to achieve the goal? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, an area chart. It is best for trends over time, not category comparisons. Then we have B, a funnel chart. It is used for sequential processes like sales pipeline, not category comparisons. Then we have D, a line chart. It is used for trend analysis over time, not for comparing discrete categories. As such, the best visual to use to achieve the goal is a clustered bar chart. Thus, the correct option is C. A clustered bar chart is the best visual to use to compare profit across 10 product categories for a selected quarter. It allows you to easily compare the profit of each category side by side, making it easy to identify the highest and lowest performers. In addition, a clustered bar chart is effective at displaying discrete data such as categories, which makes it the ideal choice for this scenario. Question 28. You have a Power BI report that will be rendered on a vertical display. You need to maximize the portion of the screen area used by the report. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. From the canvas background setting of Power BI desktop, configure the image fit setting. It controls background images, not the report layout. Then we have C. From Power BI desktop, select personalized visuals. It allows users to modify report visuals but it does not adjust the layout. Then we have D. From the Power BI service, enable the Pages pane. It helps navigate report pages but does not maximize screen usage. As such, we should, from the canvas settings of Power BI desktop, set a custom width and height. Thus, the correct option is B. To optimize a Power BI report for a vertical display, you need to manually adjust the canvas size to fit the screen properly. This is done in canvas settings by setting a custom width and height that matches the display dimensions. Question 29. In Power BI Desktop, you are creating a report that will contain 3 pages. You need to create a custom tooltip page and prepare the page for use. Which 3 actions should you perform? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, for the target page, set allow use as tooltip to on. This setting applies only to the tooltip page, not the main page. Then we have C, configure filters on the target visual. While filters on target visual help control data, they are not required specifically for creating a tooltip page. As such, the 3 actions that we should perform are: for the tooltip page, set allow use as tooltip to on; for the tooltip page, configure filters; add and configure visuals on the tooltip page. Thus, the correct options are A, D, and E. To create a custom tooltip page in Power BI Desktop, you need to enable allow use as tooltip on the tooltip page so it can be used as a tooltip. Configure filters on the tooltip page to ensure it displays relevant contextual data. Add and configure visuals on the tooltip page to present the information appropriately. Question 30. You have a Power BI report that contains 1 page. The page contains 2 line charts and 1 bar chart. You need to ensure that users can perform the following tasks for all 3 visuals. Switch the measures used in the visuals, change the visualization type, add a legend. The solution must minimize development effort. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, create a bookmark for each acceptable combination of visualization type, measure, and legend in the bar chart. This would require many bookmarks for all possible combinations, making it inefficient. Then we have B, added the interactions between the 3 visuals. It controls how visuals interact but does not allow changing measures, visualization types, or legends. Then we have D, enable personalization for the each visual. While this allows changes, enabling personalization at the report level ensures that it applies to all visuals at once, reducing effort. As such, we should enable personalization for the report. Thus, the correct option is C. Personalization can be enabled for each visual on the entire report. Here we have a single page report with 3 visuals and all 3 visuals need personalization. The answer is enable personalization for the entire report to minimize development efforts. These were all the questions for this video. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. We will be publishing more parts to this series in the future, so please make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.